Preparing your live stream meeting.
We're live on YouTube, yeah.
It's live, it says.
Okay.
So
Yeah, but I'm looking at YouTube now.
I got it.
We are, yeah, looks like we're live, right?
So,
Okay, we got it. We're on.
there's a bit of delay on YouTube, it looks like, but
Yep.
people have questions in the chat, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so why do I have an echo? What am I hearing the echo from? Hi guys, if you're tuning in, we're a little lost. So I got to get back to the Zoom meeting. Okay, so let me you guys take the URL and copy and paste it over to Facebook. Let's see if that works. You guys want to do that? Let me see if that works, right?
All right, can you one more time put it in the chat?
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, so we can pop
there's
that
6
in.
people watching at the moment, looks
Okay,
like. So
good. Hi out there. Where's the chat? This would be the URL, it looks like.
So we'll just we can pop that on the our Facebook. People can watch.
Yep, and I'm gonna put that on my Facebook right now. Guys, we're kind of getting this together, so bear with us.
All right, let's pop.
Paste, channeling get together. Let's see if it's doing it. It looks like it is. Yep, we're on. Okay, so I posted it and I shared it, so it's out there, and that link will do it. If you guys are watching, we're just kind of getting this shit together. Give us some time. This is kind of a spontaneous thing, sort of thing. And I'll put it in Odyssey of Ascension as well.
There was a plan, but as usual plans. So
there was a kind of a plan. There was kind of a plan about that. All right, we are okay. Good. Yeah. We got it. Good. So it looks like it's on YouTube, and I'm gonna move this so we can look at the chat. Say hello, someone. Say hello in the chat for me. Chat.
I'll say hi.
Okay, good.
It's like I can't post on my Facebook, but that's fine.
It didn't go?
I think I probably can't be on Zoom on I don't know. It's just not loading. I think it's just my Facebook. It's fine. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, I put it on my my Facebook page in Odyssey of Ascension, so it's on my channel, and you guys can share it.
I shared mine too. Attracting Wisdom.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! We did it!
Yay!
Look at us!
Look at us so technically.
Look at us.
Fantastic.
I got it on my group, I think. Yes, it's on my group.
Good.
I can't get it on my page. Good.
Nice. So I guess maybe we should just tell people we are like a bi-weekly kind of roundtable discussion amongst channelers, just to get, it's interesting from a channeling perspective as well. If people have questions, we wanted to maybe discuss today a certain topic, perhaps, or to keep it to a certain topic. Kimberly, did you have an idea for that, or?
Yeah, I was just thinking we could talk about the subject of division and unity, because I guess that's a theme that that's coming up for the collective at the moment through different events, worldwide events. That's a theme that I'm seeing, and how it on the surface level it appears to be a division, but it's actually part of the collective consciousness shifts, and it's actually helping us move to oneness remembered state. So basically everything that we see externally or might perceive externally is a reflection of what's going on in our collective consciousness, in our perspectives, in our vibration, our consciousness. So it's it's, I guess, all these events as well that's happened, this year, last year, well, all events really. It's been intensified, obviously, this year and last year, and it's just helping us to let go of basically our collective shadows, so aspects, programs that are aligned to duality, fear-based programs, control, judgment, fear, anger, any paradigms of that fear victim mentality. It's kind of being brought forth to the surface for us and for the collective, which we call our shadows. And that's so we can address it, work through it, and then unite those aspects of us within us. So as they kind of come to the surface, it's we actually perceive that as, we feel that as, negative emotions, right? And we might perceive it externally from us that there's control going on, and then there's it's happening with politics, with certain perspectives that's happening on a collective level. It's kind of this us versus them control over other people, when that's just an illusion. It just seems, for some, especially those that are exploring kind of fear-based dimensions, which is, there's no wrong and there's no right, but that kind of story is it's being kind of intensified, I guess, for many at the moment. So yeah, I just thought that's something we could go into a little bit today.
Sounds like a good topic. I mean, you're obviously we can go right to the change of presence as an example that in America, this is it's quite divisive. Trump was, and how, and it seems a bit more, I mean, for somebody still divisive, they're always going to be divisive, but yeah, I mean, what do you think about Biden? Does he represent something? I mean, or what in your opinion?
Anyone? We kind of lost your audio there for a second.
Oh, okay. So maybe I'm the one that's I was just wondering about
I don't know if you should assign it to Biden, because that's exactly what she just said. What did she just say? What did Kimberly just say? Let's look at it for what it is. If we're really unity, then how can anything be opposing? How can it be opposing? Well, because we're separated. Let's go back to the fundamentals. We're God forever. Da, 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 da. I'm God. Pleiadians are God. Dogs are God. Trees are gods. They know connection, but they don't go, oh my God, I'm a God. They don't do that. There's no lack. We're born separated. We're handed our religions. We're handed our belief systems. We're handed our self-worth through whatever society, idea, culture we're believed in. Here's the Muslim. Here's the Christian. Which one's wrong? I'm right. Kill. Right? Because they have no worth. So they have to demand it, right? So if that opinion, that stabilization of identity, which is separated in and of itself, is challenged, then change is about, and change is not liked particularly well. So when change comes in a stagnant idea, or whether it's quick, is irrelevant, that's a possibility to see the division within. Because we're unconditional. But see, we don't have an unconditional mind. We have conditions. We have perceptions. And so the division that this change offers is the division within. Because creation sure as hell isn't divided. I am. I'm divided. I was born separated. So the unity must occur within. So at this point, I can see people as creators. Some of it I don't like. I'm not on board with it, but I'm an evolutionist. I'm not a finite. I'm not going to get it right the first time, and then I can graduate and everyone can love me. I'm going to evolve. I'm going to work at it. I'm going to become it. I'm going to have the courage to let go of the truths of division that lie within my kingdom and allow those to be expressed in the best self I am in the moment. And if that self is now dead 1 second later, so be it. It doesn't have to command an isness. Look, if we're all in this together, why are we comparing? Why are we saying this? Well, I mean, what's better? Nothing's better. So we wake up to the division that lies within ourselves and see that if it's Biden or Trump, or it's Democrats or Republicans, or it's Christians or it's Jews, or it doesn't matter what it is. What is it? It's my point of view. And that takes an insatiable amount of meekness or humility to say, God damn, I've got to do the work. It's my work. And then we start to awaken and we offer these perspectives to the channelers you see before you and the other masters on the planet that are bearing the light of change, not bearing the constitution of right and wrong, because that's only going to feed it a yummy Snicker bar and it's just going to stay and we're just going to gnip back and forth between the polarized scales and we're going to energize that world. So the change world, this massive change we have before us, is to see that it's the work that's internal. Biden could have been John, Dick, or Harry. It's just what he represents as the idea. Now, the collective has chosen that, but look, there's a video on YouTube. The history of the world, and it's three office blokes did this, and it's like the history of the world. Three office blokes is a channel. They're three English guys. And what it did is it summed up the world. And it gave all of the world changes and how everything changes and the dinosaurs happen and all this. And like, oh, let's turn to that religion. Oh, let's do this. And now China's separated. Now it showed the evolution of our species. That's what we're doing. We're not getting it right and wrong. We're evolving. So the evolution itself must be self-evident. And the self-evident must be accepted in the courageous that we're value, our existence has been chosen. That in and of itself, gotta say you're somehow blessed because we're not life, non-life is not life, right? And we're life. So I think that work that we're doing right now, this time that everyone on the planet came to be, whether you're driving a truck or stocking shelves or delivering my Starbucks from Uber, you're part of this collective. You're part of the love. Be the best reflective self you can to evolve the separation within you. And when you have that constitution of that is noticed by the attraction, law of attraction, that thing right there makes me mad, or that thing gives me hope, and that's right and that's wrong, and then that perception becomes, that's mine. Mm-hmm. I own that. It's not them. It can't be them, because that's unconditional. I'm the conditioner. Even if they're acting in a polarized way, they're still finding their way home, for fuck's sakes. They didn't come down here as a diminished idea. They came down here as a creator, because we're all masters on a planet of evolution, which means to me, we've evolved other species before, and we're in the graduating class right now. Top 10% of our class came to human to evolve a species that has no idea that it's a creator. Right. Now that's fantastic. So that's my division. My work is, what about me that keeps me seeing from, and I'm not talking about seeing you as a lovey-dovey, oh, I love you, not candy, candy corn, lollipops, and rainbows. Because if you're an asshole, you're an asshole. You can be your greatest asshole, but I'm not going to play with you. But I'm going to accept you. And I'm not going to be depending on you to change, because you're not causing anything, because that's my perception. No one causes anything, because that's mine now. That's my experience to feel the pain of a cause. That's my truth. So I allow people to be what they are, but I don't play with them. If they're doing something that, I'm out. So I'm working the world in the realm of the internal, and when that world is done and I've transfigured it, then I get new people like you, and I got Kimberly, and I got Isabel, and I got Gary, and I got Tyler, right? And David Strickland. He's awesome. I loved his channeling. I was like, I've heard of the others, but I went to watch it. I was like, oh man, we got enough. These are people that are finding themselves. They're not the Christ conscious. They're not the pinnacle. They're ascenders. They're evolution of self-evident. Mm. Their own awareness. So I think that division, it has to be, it's me, it's not them. Because if I objectify it, then I'm looking as an opposing self. Now, I'm the creator, and I'm going down to old Sapphire here, and Sapphire is having an opinion that was created from an idea of where Sapphire was born, and whether she was white, black, or purple, and whether she was a Cleveland Brown fan or a Washington football team fan. Wait a minute. I'm the one that's feeling the pain. I'm the one that's feeling the sense of choice. And wakens up, and then she goes, well, who are you? Hi, how you doing? And you get to meet yourself. And then you unify from this point of view, take just those perceptions. It's not a negative entity. It's not an ego it's a perception. It's a belief system. And you unify that through acceptance, and all of a sudden, this is this, but just realized. And that's magnificent.
Mm.
So all my work is say, hey, what am I saying about this? I count here, but I don't need to command or demand my count on someone else's acceptance of that. Although, God, it feels good to be accepted. Oh my God, it does. It does. But you gotta be okay with this is enough. Although the society looms that we have to be taught, and you're going to be a failure, and if you don't get the rod, and you might end up being a mass murderer or something like that.
Mm.
But the society itself is an opposition, isn't it? It's opposing. It's set up in monetary catalogs. We have countries and flags and borders, and we're in these compartmentalizations of money and classes, and we were defined that, and we were represented that you're bad and you need to go away. So if you can't go away, well, we're going to kill you. Yay! We one thing good humans. Oh man, we are great at killing people. We wiped out 600 million Native Americans. We torched 400 million Jews. We are so good. 4 million, sorry. So good at killing people. But we're not real good at loving ourselves. Not loving each other. No. That comes by the byproduct. Because if you love the one, you must love the all. So the division, I think, is within ourselves. I think that's where we have to do the work.
Yes. So thank you, Roxanne. So I'm gonna sum up Roxanne's
Please.
theory. And I'm gonna chunk it out for you, Justin, so you can let's pretend this is a video game. And there are certain parameters for your avatars, for your characters in your video game. And if
I like that.
right?
Keep going.
And if I was the developer, meaning not the player, but the developer of the game, I would say there are some rules or a paradigm. And that is what we came here to explore: separation and duality, cause and effect. This or that. If I do this, I get that. If I do get that, I do this, right? So when Roxanne said, if I don't beat them, they're going to turn into a mass murderer, right? That's a cause and effect kind of thinking. So that paradigm of that video game, we are shifting the paradigm to a quantum state. So it's an and state, and we were talking about it earlier, but literally shifting duality into synchronicities and being in the now moment, and following your soul and inspiration, and just focus on the now. When Roxanne was saying, how do you feel? Do I like to do this? Do I not like to do this? Do I want to do this? But you feel it initially. And if you follow your feeling, that's living in the now moment, and you're working with synchronicities. And so it's literally changing your perception and the paradigm of your video game. So there are phases and stages. So if you've ever written a software program, I would say there's a lot of code. And so there's a lot of code being changed here. And it all starts from within, because we are the developers and the player of the game. We are the creator of our game and the player. And how cool is that? That we are both. We are not just the player and we are not just the creator. We are both. Or you can look at it as a movie. We are the director of our movie and the actor. Mm-hmm. And we get to play.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, I was just wanted to make it.
That was fantastic, Isabel.
It's not.
Thank you for summing that up.
I don't believe that having one or the other is better. I'm looking at the symbolism of things and seeing the synchronicity of our reality, confirming that people are beginning to question just the system and the way things are being done.
Yes.
I think it's happening. Go ahead, Kimmy.
And I was just going to say that this grand, like you see on the collective in societies, this grand, looking behind the veil, or, what's really going on with the governments and these conspiracy theories and all this stuff that you see happening on a large scale at the moment, that is a symptom of the collective great awakening that is happening. But there is different pathways you can play this game. So you can choose to go through this game in fear. So you can attach yourself to duality paradigms. So basically, if you don't do your shadow work, which means if you don't go within and address what triggers you. So when you have a negative emotion arise within you, that's you recognizing a shadow within you. And that's, as I was saying before, that's coming to the surface for all of us to address it and transmute it, right?
Yeah.
So basically, for those who have not addressed certain shadows within themselves, basically, if you are in that vibration of fear, your whole reality reflects that. So you are going to perceive that there are people controlling us. You are going to perceive that you are a victim. That is your reality because you're vibrating in that dimension, because that's where you are vibrationally, right? So wherever your emotional state is, and your emotional state, of course, aligns to what your beliefs and thoughts are, your emotional state kind of allows you to vibrate in that correlating dimension. So because it's happening on collective level, we're all going through this together. So basically, those who haven't addressed those shadows within, they are now starting to see behind physical reality, but maybe not from a love and oneness perspective. They may be seeing it from a victim mentality perspective, from a third dimensional perspective, that people are controlling us. So that's what's kind of happening at the moment. So you have a choice. We all have a choice on how we go through this great awakening. We can choose, like Roxanne was saying, unconditional acceptance. That's unconditional love. And so basically, if something triggers you with negative emotion, that is an indicator. They're reflecting that within you, right? They are playing a role for you to recognize that there is something within yourself that you have judged, something within you that you have not loved, that you have not accepted, right? So this is a game. It's giving you the opportunity to play the game here, to go inwards. So firstly, you might not be able to see in the moment what exactly this limiting belief you have about yourself or about the world, but you can let go of that resistance and just be curious, right? Be the observer, be a source, right? So you can take a step back and be like, oh, isn't that curious? I've got negative emotion. Now, of course, depending on your level of work, of course, it can be challenging to be in the moment, be curious when you have that strong emotion. Like, I understand that. But with practice, you can, like, even though you might be triggered, it might take a few moments, but you can take a moment and step back and just be like, okay, I'm feeling this negative emotion. And know that it's not the person, or it's not a conditioning causing harm, causing this negative emotion. It is your own beliefs. It is your own shadow. So everything is a reflection of you, within you, your beliefs, your dimensional experience. So you have the responsibility on how you explore physical reality. Yes, you are a God and a God creator. We are source, but we are so advanced, we get to play physical reality, right? And create as well. Be the observer and create. The observer of our creation. So you have a choice on if you want to explore this great awakening through fear or through love. The choice is yours. Understand that there's no choice is wrong, no choice is right, but how do you feel? Do you want to, explore reality in fear? Do you want to suffer? You don't have to suffer, but that choice is yours. You can choose love. You can choose acceptance. You don't have to agree. It doesn't mean you have to agree with everything. It's about being in acceptance of it, knowing that in that acceptance of what you may not understand, acceptance of even your own emotions, understand that this is a journey we are all going through together. We are going through the greatest evolution of consciousness. It's okay to feel fear. And understand, if you feel fear, it's okay. It's not like you're wrong or you're doing something bad or you're not doing law of attraction right. Understand that we are going all through these shifts together, right? For us to remember that we are source and we are one, but we are required to face our shadows if you want to, right? Reflect a reality that's reflective of love and oneness. We need to work through these aspects of us that we have repressed, or parts of us that we judge as wrong, that we have disregarded. And those other people or conditions are reflecting that as a mirror. So it's a mirror system here. As above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. You know, that's it. We're the micro of the macro. Everything is a reflection of what's going on within us. So you have a choice to choose love, my friends.
Phenomenal. You're muted, Isabel, I think. Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. So I think, Justin, you're trying to say, what do you think is happening in the United States with the political Joe Biden coming to office?
I don't want to be political necessarily. I mean, I guess I'm kind of doing this for YouTube. I'm totally in resonance with everything that being said. That's why I was kind of hoping people would ask from the YouTube chat some questions, because I really, in the end, I don't care. Like, I know we're all equal, and I don't believe that anybody in these power structures really has power over us. We just pretend they do. And that's becoming obvious. But I like what Kimberly was, of course, saying, because obviously what is actually interesting is connecting the dots. So somebody, for instance, who's into this conspiracy theory stuff, right? So they have something hidden inside them, or what they're trying to, is there something very particular about that? Like, they just can't accept their own power? Is there a particular fear in there that all the limiting belief in general?
It's victim mentality. It's victim mentality. And I could put my hand up because I've been on that journey. It was quite a number of years ago, right? Before I discovered I Can Channel. I did go through that kind of rabbit hole. And guess what? Because I can talk about it because I've been there, right? And it was part of my awakening journey, but it doesn't have to be a permanent journey. So what happened? I went in that rabbit hole, and I'm like, we basically go through different stages of awakening. That was one phase of my awakening. But I had to go through this rabbit hole so I can get a perspective of what's going on now, from my own experience. Right. But I was started to see behind the physical reality. But because I hadn't really addressed my shadows, right, that victim mentality paradigm, I started to explore, but this paradigm of us versus them, control versus freedom, right? I was attached to duality. So guess what happened? The more I explored behind the veil of physical reality, guess what? Just the rabbit hole just keeps going deeper, deeper and deeper. And guess what? Did you know how I felt? I felt miserable. I felt so much fear. I felt so controlled. I felt I'm not free. You know, I never want to feel that again. Knock on wood, I never have to again, because that feeling I felt going down that rabbit hole. And then I came across law of attraction, and I really came to, luckily I found what I needed. My soul guided me there to take me out of that rabbit hole and discover that was all in an illusion, but it was a necessary journey for my evolution. So this is what's happening on collective level. It might seem like all these people are in a lot of fear at the moment, and we might be like, some of us might be going, can you just see, I don't know. It's kind of interesting how you see people's, reactions and everything, but it's all part of their own journey. It's all necessary, but they don't have to keep going down that rabbit hole, but they have to take a moment, be in the present moment, and start to go inwards and start to accept that all these paradigms of us versus them is an illusion. We are free. Nothing can control us. Right. We are free. We are God creators. Everyone is playing a role for us. Yes, people are playing roles to catalyze us, but that is for us to go inwards and to remember that we are loved, to allow those shadows to be brought forth to the surface for our evolution. So understand that everything that triggers you is for you. Nothing is happening to you.
So in that regard, I'm sorry, Isabel, go ahead.
So that's exactly what I'm trying to say, Kimberly. And I think, Roxanne, you're probably going to validate it, is that when you ask such a broad question, it's so personal because it's a reflection of my mirror. So my experience is very different from other people's experience because I'm at such peace and harmony with it that I'm like, oh, great, it's Joe. Oh, great, it's Trump. Oh, great. It doesn't matter to me because I don't feel like they can create in my reality. So I'm not triggered by fear. So when somebody says, oh, the United States, it's going wrong, or other people are like, oh, it's finally getting fixed. It's a polarity perspective reflection upon them. So I'm just like, oh, it's just a mirror. It's just mirrors. It's all mirrors. But
Right.
if it comes into my physical reality and I get triggered, just like what Kimberly was saying, it's because it's in my field. It's in
Yes.
my mirror.
There's
It
nothing in
cannot
your
be
world that
reflected
isn't
to me.
attracted. It's
Right.
not a mistake. Law of attraction doesn't fail. It shows
Yes.
you the opportunity of evolution. The
Yes.
one thing, the two things I wanted to say, I always write down notes, is if you want to take responsibility, for me, that had a context of failure behind it, because now I was being held accountable. And then one time I watched Bashar, Daryl Ankle Bashar, he had said, it's the ability to respond to the moment, not in time. Because if I use the resource of time, I'm using the human perception of time. And that is a frequency of that's not now. So that helped me understand that I'm a creator in the moment, and I can learn to trust what you had said earlier, Kimberly, the heart space, the internal self, the I am, even though it may be fearful, even though it might be a mistake. If you don't find out who you are, then you're always going to be the reality of your perception of who you are in the moment identified, right? So I want the one thing to realize, guys, and you're out there, none of the stuff you guys are feeling is fake. Why? Because we're creators of reality. We're not half-assed gods. We're full-blown, 100%. We create realities, and in this frequency, in this incarnation, we have emotions that are valuable. We know to suffer. We know to hope. We know joy. We know ecstasy. We know separation, betrayal. We know it to the vastness of it because we're creators. We don't do half-ass, right? So when someone is seeing that they are in that thing and they really are like doing it, you can't fix that. We don't fix that problem. We represent change, and that's the authentic. So you got to say, okay, so Kimberly just said it. She goes, okay, guys, and Isabel backed it up. Here's what we got. You got to go inside and look at it's your shit. That right there is an attraction. Now, don't go and thank that person and give them money for thank you for being attracted, because they're lost in law of attraction takes care of it. Like, okay, thanks for showing me my shit, because I got some shit. I found my dad in me. I found my brother in me. I found my mom in me. I found my culture and my belief systems. I found all these things that I attributed to collectively or coveting those belief systems, when just because I'm born separated. So don't discount the value of someone's pain. Let them have it. Don't fix it, because light bearers don't fix. We offer change because nothing's broken. This is an experience. Not a damn thing is broken, folks. Hang on, let me look at this. Mira Adams was it was a question, and I don't want to miss the questions on this. Why did I miss it? Now I missed it. Okay. It had a piece of poop. There it is.
I saw it. Should I say it?
Yeah. Read it.
I was not paying attention to the news, but yesterday I took a pick at it, and I saw a $2 trillion EO to fix the climate. Holy crap. How to stay calm when we are getting into so much debt.
Okay, great. Debt is a perception.
Mm-hmm.
Debt is a perception. You're not in debt. If you're in debt, that's your perception of a debt. In the now, I owe no money. And in the now, I have to pay money. I have the money in the now. In time, oh yeah, I got debt. Humanity has debt. But that's a perception. That's not affecting you. You're looking at it as an idea of you have to manage that kind of money to fix the economy. No, you don't. You work on your world. You can start to see that you're perceiving reality through those ideas of valuable truths, which give you an emotion and an experience in the now. That's what you're doing. We create realities now. We are the experiencer of the here and the now, not there and then. Then is from here and now. So what happened? You created a moment in the now, and you looked at that now, and that now created a perception of, wow, we're going to do that when we have all this debt. And now none of that's happened. Now, that's not an answer of fixing, because, again, we don't fix. That's not a problem. That's a perception. Make sure you look at the light work that you have. Enlighten your kingdom to see that those perceptions are giving you an emotional relationship, but they're not happening to you. The debt isn't happening. Don't worry about the climate. I don't know. Hey, let's catch up on something. How old is Gaia? Really fucking old. And she's been through an enormous amount of meteor showers and explosions and changes and continental shifts. And we're throwing some plastic around. She's not in peril. She's got this because she's a god. She's a creator, right? So don't worry about what we're doing to the planet. You represent the change and allow others to see the freedom that you exude as a bearer of light, of change, to say that that isn't a problem, that isn't polarizing. And the change is not polarization fixation. The change is the representation of the authentic. And the nature of things, we don't fuck things up. Humanity does because we're polarized, because we're taught lack. We have enough food and enough land for everyone to have a 10-acre with no problem and free electricity. Why don't we have it? Well, because we're evolving. We can't fix that. That's not lack, but that's the idea. We're seeing it, and we have to represent the authenticity, not the salvation, because the salvation is if you do this, then you have this. Or if you fix that, then you have that. Why do we keep having problems? Because we keep giving solutions. Why do we keep having wars? Because we keep building defenses. Law of attraction. So don't look at the world like that. Don't look at the world like that. Look at that. In my world here, I have a TV and I have a refrigerator and I have a couch and I have a bathroom and I have stay there. Get to know your world. See the intimacy of creation without the polarization, so you can see the beauty of perfection that lies before you on a daily basis. But since we're born separated and everything we see we're value as product instead of the intimacy of your own creation, then of course it's difficult to see a couch or a coffee cup or a computer as something experiential that's beyond emotion, because we're taught emotions. So you're doing it. That's a good question that brings up a perception. So here's a light bearer offering a change, not an answer. Answers don't work. Changes work. Perceptions work. You have to change your perception about that, and then you can see a different thing. That kind of idea. Okay, I'm done.
Does anyone else want to add to that?
Let me see something. I'm trying to keep up with the chat.
I'm going to go around that perception. Let me just chunk it out again.
Yeah.
So what Roxanne is saying, in the now moment, it is perfect. You are worried of a future time, but that has not come to the now moment. And so there are many possibilities. So if you study quantum physics, there are many possibilities. We could easily pay off that debt. We could not. But it's not random, and everything is for the highest good. So when you might not have an understanding why an earthquake occurred or why a war occurred, but there are many things in play, and you don't have all the information. And all you need to do is to focus on you. I know, shocking, but focus on you and the now. And because everything is a mirror, so when you start to love yourself, you are reflected back more love.
Yeah.
You are here to express love. You don't need love because you are love.
Yeah.
So I would just say, guys, it's a quantum state thinking. You are many, many things. You are not just one thing. So you can ease it up. You can relax. Don't go so far in the future. Everything is working out perfectly.
Here and now. Be
Here and now. Just be now.
Yeah.
Just now.
Especially with money, that's a big thing. Like, it's like the most obvious, perceptual thing that we're making up. It's like, oh, we talk about trillions or billions of dollars, and you, like, what does that even mean? Sometimes it's,
and that's what it is. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
When I got the value, when I started understanding the value of my money, and I start really looking at the perception when I had money, when I didn't have money, how I was relating. And that took some work. That takes a lot of humility, guys. That takes a lot of self-acceptance. It's going to be painful in that transfiguration. But we're here to know things, not to avoid things. That's why I think we created that dark night of the soul, or the dark parts, or the shadow work, whatever you want to call it. Go inside and find the shit that don't belong to you anymore because you bought into it because you were separated. That kind of work. So, in the idea of money, okay, when I was in the car business, I made really good money for a person. You know, I'm 100,000 plus. If anyone knows when they stop paying into income tax in a calendar year, then you know the kind of money I've made, right? So when you make that kind of money, it's because it's commanded in the idea of the work that you did. Now, see that, you know, here's my intimacy. Watch this, okay? Watch this. This is the work I did. I worked my ass off 80 hours a week for 20 years. I deserve that money. But I never kept the money because I don't deserve money. Because I was taught not to deserve money, that we don't have money. So who got my money? My 3 ex-wives. People, the gambling place. I lived in Vegas. I loved to go play the slots. So I just sat and played. That was my escape. That was my thing, right? So all of that was just an in and out, but I was producing, and that was like, okay, well, here comes Roxanne. I woke up, yay. Then I started doing Odyssey of Ascension, right? And the first time someone gave me a tip, I cried. Because I'm just having a conversation. They're like, my God, that was beautiful. So they gave me $20. $20. I was worth $86 an hour. That was my pay. And someone gave me $20. And I cried. Why? Why? Because I did it because I love doing it. I was doing it for me. I was getting paid for being me. And that was fucked up. Because if I wasn't producing and doing hard work and making myself, then I didn't earn. That's mine. That was the way I was keeping my money away from me. So I started to have to accept I'm not worth this. And of course, you know, I went in started my channel, and I got people, and they go, I'll do your website attraction. Hey, Roxy, blah, 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 put it up to YouTube. And all that happened. And all I had to do was say, yeah, this sounds awesome. So when I started doing the abundance flow, I remembered something. That money is the same as air, is the same as a steak, is the same as cloud. It's creation. So it doesn't have to come in a particular way, which I was commanding. And I was like, oh, the only way you can get a money is if I get a paid session, or I get a donation, or I go out and do some. Oh, I can create a memory of money. Damn. But don't go ego land on me and go, well, how do I do that? So I can have a whole bunch of money in the bank. No, don't go ego land on me. Fall in love with yourself now. And see, that's the intimate work. That's the work you got to do. You got to look at what's in front of you in the now. And if you have a reality of that, so when money would scare the shit out of me, what happens if we run out of money? My God, we can't. And I just let it go. And I lived in the now, and I trusted, and I trusted, and I trusted. And it showed me everything about myself. I promise you, creation will tell you the frequency, right? We're born down here, and we evolve through the prisons that we create. So when I'm lighting up, I will enlighten my kingdom. I'm not a preacher. I don't enlighten others. I don't go shining my light and say, you need to do that. We've got enough of fucking preachers, right? So I find my things that are mine. And I own them, so I'm enlightening my kingdom by being my authentic self. And I don't know who that self is. How do I know? I don't. I just start choosing, and I start discovering, oh, this channelers don't cuss. Swearing helps. This one does. That's me. I cannot, because I'm an unconditional creator. If I bow down to the likings of another, then I'm darkening my light. If you don't like me, I love you. Have a Coke and a smile and hit the road. So I found my shit, and the money was one of the big ones. It was so huge, but I realized my relationship, my value was so weighted because my upbringing was money. It's dirty. And other people, how did they get some money? They get so lucky. They're this, that. Well, because they don't have the vibrational relationship. That's why you got to look at your world. You're incomparable. You're so beautiful. You're so unique. You can never define yourself as anything that can be wrapped up and put on a shelf and sold for Christmas. You're not a product. You're a creator. So that's the intimate work it takes. That's the division that lies. Isabel is a channel. Kimberly is a channel. Do you know what courage it takes to get up there and claim that to the human collective? Even if you start out as an ego, it doesn't matter. We did it. So it doesn't need you to be a channel. But if you do whatever it is, you want to be a gardener, that passion, that discovery, I promise you that law of attraction will allow you the abundance to be gardener for the rest of your freaking life, because it doesn't matter what you're doing here except the nature of you. And that is the law of attraction. That's what comes. I love channeling. I love teaching. I love speaking. Well, guess what? I get a YouTube channel. I get clients. I get customers or people that do, and we do this stuff. Kim does the same thing. Isabel does the same thing. Justin is out there doing it. We're attracting our realities. So find the kingdom within. The truth lies in the eye of the beholder. Thou shalt have no gods before me, for fuck's sakes. Fall in love with you. Find that separation and do the work. And if you can't figure it out, take a chance. Go and fuck up reality, because I promise you the only thing that's going to happen, once again, as we said earlier, is forever. That's for certain.
That's it. And you can't go any longer. You said it. I love you, Roxanne. You said it perfectly. And yep. I feel like saying, not a preacher, but I feel like saying amen to what you said, because it's exactly that. Like, it's reflect our reality from our own vibration. So if you want to attract a reality that's reflective of who you are, love, you need to start accepting yourself. And it's not easy. I know this. I mean, I'm a channel, but I'm also a counselor. I know firsthand people's like how intense it can be and painful it can be to explore the shadows of oneself. Yeah. But this is where transformation takes place. This is where real evolution takes place. And I know that there are people who like to bypass that aspect, but you know, you can bypass all you want, but understand if you bypass it, you might understand, you know, some high perspectives or like things, you know, in the metaphysical realms. But how is your reality? Is it reflective of love? Is it reflective of abundance? Perhaps it's because you have bypassed, you know, yourself, your inner work, and that's where everything else blossoms. If you want to have, it's not just like abundance, it's everything. It's you remembering your life purpose, remembering why you were here. It's about also remembering your divine abilities, psychic abilities, right? If you want to have awareness of all that, guess where it comes from? Loving yourself, accepting yourself, because as you raise your frequency, you activate that within you. Again, with the heart center, as you go within the heart center, right? That's where you activate your divine blueprint. That's where you activate the awareness of who you truly are and your purpose. And yes, it will come to you like a knowing. You will know. And that's what, like Roxanne said, follow your passion, follow your heart, because, and what Isabel said, you don't have to go 100 steps ahead, because that's not how it works. You be in the moment, listen to the knowing, listen to where your heart's calling you to in the moment. And that's it. Enjoy the moment. Look, I know at the moment there's a lot of people doing the processing, right? And I know there are a lot of people out there, especially those of you who are sensitive, are feeling these like intense negative emotions as part of like this purging process. But look, we process for the rest of our lives. We can start processing ourselves, the collective, and all beings on the universe. It doesn't end. So it's about finding balance, finding the joy in your reality. And that's where finding your passion is. You know, look for things that bring you joy. If you don't have a hobby, is there something like just fun you can do? Like, is it some engaging in some music, watching a cool TV show?
Pick up an instrument.
Yes, it doesn't have to be this grand, big thing. Just whatever it does, do something brings you joy, because that helps raise your frequency to help you see the perspective of who you are. And that's when you receive the next step for your journey. And embrace these triggers. When you feel negative emotion, I know it's hard to be in the moment, but you can come to a place where you can be like, oh, this is good. I can be grateful for this. If someone triggers you, I'm grateful for this person, because they're now giving me this opportunity for me to go inwards, to learn more about me, to love me, to see more aspects of me that I have not loved. They are my mirror. Someone triggers you, guess what? They are your master teacher. They are not causing you harm. They're not doing anything to you. And yes, there are, look, this is probably a subject for another day, but look, there are soul contracts. So when people, you know, some people, of course, go through life and they experience a very, maybe a very traumatic life event. And you might ask, why would they go through that? Did they attract that to them? Did they do something wrong? No, but understand there's higher reasons why everything happens to us, and there are soul contracts, but we won't go into that today because that's a whole another subject. But understand that we came here pre-birth wanting to explore certain difficult challenges, right? And guess what? We chose to be born here this time of Great Awakening. We knew we were going to forget who we are. We knew we were going to go through challenges, but we knew that by doing that, we're going to expand the consciousness to such a degree that's never been experienced before, because we are all masters. If you were born here at this time, guess what? You're a master teacher. You're a master. You might not feel like that. You might look at your reality and go, how am I master? Look at my life. But understand that because you were born into a state of amnesia, because guess what? We're all enlightened beings. We've just forgotten it. So the process of evolution is not to gain enlightenment, to gain this, to gain that, to gain love. We're already that. It's like we're onion, right? We have to peel the layers off. It's a great unlearning to remember who we are. So we have to go through an unconditioning process, right? Unlearning. So we have to let go of all those layers, peel back those layers. We have to be vulnerable, right? And it's hard to be vulnerable. Ties into authenticity. Sometimes it's challenging to be authentically us because we're fearful of what others will think of us, right? But it's about being in that vulnerability where your power is.
Another class.
Following your heart. Yes. And we touched on that on the chat, or we talked about that in the actual channel panel. So it's really, and look, I know it's difficult. I'm not saying that it is easy all the time, but understand that with practice, right, you will be able to, in the moment when you are triggered, be able to process that in a very short amount of time. It does take practice, and I'm witness to that. You can do it. Everyone can do it. You have the power, but you have to be willing enough, courageous enough to go inwards, to be vulnerable, right? To start accepting everything in yourself and your reality, recognizing that it's all mirror and it's all happening for you, for your evolution, for the evolution of consciousness, for the evolution of the collective and all that is. And you are not alone on this journey, right? So it's just believing that you are capable of it, you are worthy of it, because you are here. So that's it. Mic drop.
Very nice. Is there another question, Roxanne, that you in the chat?
I didn't see one. Maybe.
I see that Roxy has kicked the shit out of my ego. That's nice.
So hey guys out there, we're gonna start doing these live. It was gonna be on another channel, but what we're gonna do is we'll figure it out and we'll promote it. We're gonna do it every 2 weeks, Justin?
Yeah, I think a bi-weekly makes sense.
Bi-weekly get together. Mm-hmm. We might even have up and coming channels that want to, forge their will in the iron of now by coming on here and channeling in front of a group or live on YouTube so they can get their feet wet type of thing. So I think we're gonna. Someone had just asked that, what is this? So. That's what we're doing, and maybe we'll do themes for the next, and there'll be other people in here, or it'll be maybe on my channel and on Justin's channel, and then maybe on what happened to Alan? Alan's channel, maybe. What is it?
Yeah, New Realities. It was supposed to be streamed on New Realities, but it's all perfect, and it'd be cool if we can multi-stream it on all the channels. At some point.
Yeah, I don't know if you can, but anyways, that's what this is about, and we just decided on separation on how we're going to do that. And
definitely we'll get maybe some people can send questions in advance as well, and
right
change. I think it's just a nice platform to present the channelers behind the channeling as well, and the perspective, because I think people things that comes up is like, you guys, you're channeling all this wonderful material, but are you living the life? Are you following the teachings? And this is really important too, that people see that you're incorporating.
You know what? Here, that's what I was going to say. When someone is attracted to you, or that person is there. So let's say what she just said, what Kimberly just said. Bear witness. Okay, I can bear witness to that. So what does that mean? that means she's been through it. She's not a theorist. She's not reading from a book. She's not giving you a perception because she wants to give you a solution and going on to the next thing, because she's not producing herself. She's being an evolutionist. And that has a vibration. You know the quality. You guys know, everyone knows bullshit, a sales job, a story, and then an authentic, right? An authentic is a vibration you can't get enough of. You know, there's a couple of YouTube channels that I watch, and Sonny in the Black Pack, and they're musicians, and they're phenomenal musicians, and they all live together, and they get on YouTube and they jam. Well, of course I attracted that. Why? Not because that idea, because that's authentic. So that was something that matches. So when someone comes into your life and they're looking for your clarity, be the authentic. Give them that perception. They're there for change because of your light-bearing work, right? Trust the law of attraction. And if someone comes into your life and they're just spewing diarrhea on you, and they're like, you're like, no, I'm okay. Maybe that's just for the simplicity of forging your will. So no, I'm okay with me. I got it. I don't need to, because you don't need to change to fit. And you guys done that? Nowadays, not as much, but you know, I was in the 80s and we were fake it till you make it. You know, we had all kinds of image. We made all the stuff from the 70s, the 80s. We did it all. It was a phenomenal time to be alive. But we were images. We were just these images trying to make everyone happy and doing this and being successful and wearing Z Cavaricis and these shoes. And we were images. You can't just keep producing an image. Only so much effort you have in you to keep pushing that product of yourself. And then one day you just got to let go, and you're like, fuck, I can't do this. That's why this is like Roxanne goes, hi, can I come out now? And I was like, yeah, go on. So that was not being the image anymore. And when you're doing that, you're going to bear witness to the experience of change. So if you've been through a rape, someone's going to come to you and you need to be raped. You went through an idea of a betrayal, then someone's going to come to you for the experience of understanding that. So why are these things happening? Don't worry about that. On some level, there's an understanding. What it is, if that person's in your life and they need clarity, don't give them a solution. Give them the experience. Give them the perception. Give them the authentic. Give them the things that let them own their reality without the salvation of emotional escapism through an addiction or it's going to be okay or prayer. No, you're a master. You did it. Forge your will in the now. You're better for it because you know creation that much better. And here's how I evolved it. And she speaks from wisdom. When she says she witnessed this, she's not reading a book. She's lived it. That's when they're in your life. So you guys out there in YouTube land are here now for perception. And when you're talking to us and you're in my rally, you're here for me to evolve me. And it's not who's better, who's worth. It's that we're one and all knowing each other through our own reflection, which is fucking magnificent. How do you not love that? So know that. Know that the change in front of you is not objectified in a certainty, but in the absolute simplicity of creation knowing itself. And that moment is a moment of evolution for you, not a moment of tyrannical behavior of changing yourself to fit and move out of the own reality of self-discovery into the conveniences of image that stand until you push up daisies. Change in the now, be yourself, find yourself, and the things that are attracted to you are your reflections to know the movement of self. I'm no longer that. That used to be me, but I'm not that. And you move this way. Are you going to lose friends? Yes. Oh, yes. Are you going to lose relationships? Absolutely. Are you going to find new relationships? Yes. But you won't be depending on people because you're going to be whole. When you're whole, what are you lacking? What do you need? Everything becomes the magnificence of co-creation, not the need, wants, and desires of dependency. It is so phenomenally beyond polarity and lack. And I'm not there yet. But goddamn, I'm getting there. and it's phenomenal. So do the work. Do the work with yourself and trust the reality of law of attraction. And if you need help, we got channelers all over this planet. And the one that's in your reality is an attraction. So make the wisdom choice and take a chance to discover.
Really said. No, love that. It's getting a bit late over on my side of the ocean.
What are you, in Germany or something?
Exactly. I have 2 kids here, just like taking advantage of this opportunity to just stay until midnight.
Kids go to bed. No.
Hi,
It doesn't
Bella.
work. I told them to go to bed, but then I have to force them, which
Yes. I think that was a lovely place to end.
yeah, no, I don't. And this is this is a good test run, and I think we'll work out some of the perfect kinks and get something. I really like the idea of Alan even mentioned the Gong Show kind of thing for new channels. It's a bit brutal though, but
I think it would be great that we can offer a platform for someone to say, okay, I've been channeling and I just really want to get out there.
Yes.
And what's going to happen? Well, that channel is going to know themselves better. And we provide a platform, a garden of the gods of absolute acceptance, so they can bump against themselves and find those doubts and fears to pull through it, and say, okay, I did it. And now they're like,
Yeah, if anybody's watching now and would like to, contact Roxanne or, any of us to if they feel like they want to show some of their channeling skills.
Can you guys, how do we do that? We got to put our stuff on there.
This will be on your YouTube channel though. This will just, so like anybody can comment on the video.
Comment on the video after it uploads, and then put your Kimberly and Isabel, put your stuff on there. How to get a hold of you. And we should put this out like every week, and then we'll do maybe on my Sunday, I have a Sunday live, and I always put that up a couple days before to say, hey, this is coming. So you guys put it up on YouTube, this is coming.
Right.
And whatever. And then we can round robin the different channels as well,
No, there's a lot of potentiality here. Good things come when,
Yeah, it was awesome. It was all in the moment.
Exactly.
Creation.
Worked perfectly, and I appreciate it. And I wish you guys a wonderful day. And Kimberly, what time is it there now?
It is 8:30 in the morning.
Do you have your
Sydney
coffee?
time.
So how's tomorrow?
Gonna do after this my meditation. Didn't get round to it this morning, and then have another coffee if I need one. But all good. But it's Saturday here, so it's a off day today.
Is
so
it nice
doesn't really
tomorrow?
matter.
Exactly.
Sorry?
So,
It's nice tomorrow, right?
Yes. Oh, that's right, because I am in the future, guys. in case you didn't know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad tomorrow's still there. Wonderful.
It's still there. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
And then,
Yeah. Oh, it's lovely, everybody, for this co-creation, and thanks, Justin, for organising this.
Thank
Yes,
you guys.
Sure.
Yes, Justin. Thank you
Appreciate
so
it. No,
much.
it's my passion getting everybody, all these talented people together, and with a united message. The thing is that there is no real conflict here, which that's why it would be nice to get some contrast to no, reality is there are victims. There are victims. Stop that. Play devil's advocate here.
But Justin, you know what would happen if you brought someone on like that? We'll just be like, okay, that's okay. So there'll be no debate.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Love it.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your video game. That's cool.
Yeah.
No, but it'd be cool. I think, but yeah, to see the change in percent. Nobody cannot attract anybody to this information anyways who's not ready to hear it. It's really, really,
you got to trust the law of attraction. If they're there, there's something for them, and there's something for yourself. You just don't divide and you compare it. You become the subjective point of view, and you do the internal work, and that'll show you who you are by nature. We know that. Just you got to do the work. And the work is humility, courage, acceptance, surrender to the belief systems, and then you choose the authentic self. And then as soon as that self, just real quick, let me do this before we go. This self chose this self, made a choice, created a new perspective. this self has the ability to regret that self, because this self can judge that self in time. But without this choice, there's no discovery. That's evolution. Let's not be regret. You're not a fucking mistake. You're not less than. You're a God, and you'll know it. We'll take you there.
Awesome.
All right,
Good.
guys, are we good?
We're
Everybody?
all good. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
We'll put this up next time, and we'll have a little bit more foresight when we happen. But keep a lookout for the Channelers Roundtable. We got the name.
Woo-hoo!
All right, everyone. Love you all.